June 5, 1944. The world stands on the edge of a moment that will shape history. Southern England is cloaked in darkness and tension. Every window is blacked out, every street silent, as if the land itself is holding its breath. Thousands of young men, barely adults, crowd into landing craft and planes, checking weapons, writing final letters, and clinging to photos of loved ones. Some pray quietly, others try to steady trembling hands, all aware that tomorrow may be their last. This is the eve of the greatest amphibious invasion in history, D-Day. The air is thick with anticipation and fear. Across the Channel, Nazi Germany's Atlantic Wall looms, stretching along the French coast. Concrete, steel, and barbed wire form a seemingly impenetrable barrier. Hitler is convinced his defenses are unbreakable. He trusts in his generals and the strength of his fortifications. German soldiers, some veterans, some new recruits, wait anxiously, scanning the horizon. They wonder if tonight will bring the long-feared invasion. The weather is rough, giving the defenders false confidence. Storms lash the Channel, convincing many that no attack could come. In occupied France, hope is dangerous, but coded BBC messages spark the resistance into action. Secret words on the airwaves mean the time has come. Sabotage erupts, railways cut, wires severed, a shadow war before the storm. Every act of defiance chips away at the occupiers' grip. Years of planning and sacrifice have led to this moment. Every detail has been considered, every risk weighed. The stakes are immense. Failure could doom the Allied cause. The fate of the free world hangs in the balance. Churchill, Roosevelt, Eisenhower, they know the cost of defeat. Their decisions tonight will echo for generations. As midnight approaches, the world holds its breath. In homes and barracks, in cities and on ships, millions wait in anxious silence. The longest night is about to give way to the longest day. Soon darkness will yield to the fire and fury of battle. The fate of millions hangs in the balance. Families pray for loved ones, and soldiers steel themselves for what lies ahead. Every soldier knows, tomorrow, history will be written in blood and courage. Each man carries the hopes of a world longing for freedom. The invasion is not just a military operation. It's a gamble for freedom itself. The outcome will decide the fate of nations. The Allies are ready, but so are the defenders. Two vast armies separated by a narrow strip of water prepare for the clash that will decide the future. The world waits, suspended between hope and fear. In every corner of the globe, hearts beat faster as the hour approaches. In a few hours, the beaches of Normandy will become the crucible of destiny. Sand and surf will be forever marked by sacrifice. The dawn will decide the future of Europe. As the sun rises, the world will witness courage, tragedy, and the turning of the tide. Operation Overlord was the result of years of planning and logistical genius. Millions of Allied troops, thousands of ships and planes, and mountains of supplies were assembled in secret. Normandy was chosen for its strategic surprise. The Germans expected the attack at Pas-de-Calais. Artificial harbors called mulberries and the Pluto pipeline were built to sustain the invasion. This was industrial warfare on a scale never seen before. Air and sea superiority were crucial. Allied bombers relentlessly targeted German infrastructure. The Royal Navy and U.S. Navy formed a protective ring around the invasion fleet. Every detail had to be perfect. Failure was not an option. The Allies' deception and preparation set the stage for the assault. The fate of the operation depended on coordination and secrecy. The world watched as the Allies prepared to strike. Overlord was more than a battle plan. It was a leap of faith. The pieces were in place. The invasion was ready to begin. Three commanders shaped the destiny of Normandy, each bringing their own vision, strengths and flaws to the greatest invasion in history. General Eisenhower, the supreme Allied commander, held the coalition together with diplomacy and resolve, balancing egos and national interests among the Allies. He accepted full responsibility for the invasion's outcome, a mark of true leadership. His calm under pressure inspired confidence in those around him. General Montgomery, leading Allied ground forces, was methodical and determined, insisting on overwhelming force and careful planning. He was known for his meticulous attention to detail. His approach frustrated some, but his caution was vital for success. Montgomery's insistence on preparation saved countless lives during the campaign. Across the Channel, Field Marshal Rommel, the Desert Fox, fortified the coast and demanded panzer divisions be ready to strike. He worked tirelessly to strengthen German defenses. Rommel believed the only hope was to crush the Allies on the beaches, stopping the invasion before it could gain momentum. On D-Day, Rommel was away, convinced the weather made invasion impossible, a fateful miscalculation that left German defenses less coordinated at the crucial moment. The clash of these leaders' strategies and personalities defined the battle, as each sought to outthink and outmaneuver the other. Eisenhower's coordination, Montgomery's caution, Rommel's urgency, each played a role in the unfolding drama, shaping every decision and every outcome. The outcome would hinge on their decisions and the men who followed them into the storm of battle. Normandy was not just a clash of armies, but of minds and wills, where leadership and vision would tip the scales of history. The fate of Europe rested on their shoulders, and the world watched as their choices shaped the future. D-Day's success relied on deception as much as force. Operation Fortitude convinced the Germans the main attack would come at Pas de Calais. The Allies created a phantom army, fake tanks, planes and radio chatter, commanded by the legendary Patton. Double agents like Arbeau fed false intelligence, reinforcing the illusion. On D-Day, fake convoys and radar echoes misled German defenses. Hitler kept his best troops in reserve, waiting for an attack that never came. The deception saved countless Allied lives. The Germans were paralyzed by uncertainty. The silent victory of fortitude was as crucial as any battle. The Allies' greatest weapon was their ability to make the enemy see ghosts. Before dawn, over 18,000 Allied paratroopers dropped into Normandy. Their mission seize bridges, destroy artillery, and block German reinforcements. Chaos reigned, anti-aircraft fire, scattered drops, and confusion. Many landed far from their targets, isolated and surrounded. Yet, this chaos sowed confusion among the Germans, tying down their forces. Small groups of paratroopers fought fiercely, disrupting enemy plans. On the eastern flank, British glider troops captured key bridges in a daring assault. These actions secured the flanks and paved the way for the beach landings. The airborne assault was costly, but vital to D-Day's success. The courage of these men set the tone for the day. At dawn, the Allied armada appeared off Normandy's coast. Landings at Utah, Gold, Juno, and Sword went largely as planned, but at Omaha Beach, disaster struck. Bombardments missed, German defenses were intact, American troops faced a wall of fire, many died before reaching shore. Tanks sank, chaos reigned, and the beach became a killing field. For a moment, Omaha seemed lost. But leadership and raw courage turned the tide. Small groups found gaps, blew holes in defenses, and climbed the bluffs. By day's end, a bloody foothold was won, at a terrible cost. Over 2,400 Americans fell, but the beachhead held. Omaha became a symbol of sacrifice and determination. Securing the beaches was only the beginning. The Allies entered the bocage, a maze of hedgerows and sunken lanes perfect for defense. Tanks were trapped, infantry fought brutal, close-quarters battles. Each field was a fortress, every advance costly. Ambushes and snipers made progress slow and deadly. The psychological toll was immense, casualties soared. Innovation broke the stalemate. Sergeant Cullen's Rhino tanks fitted with steel prongs smashed through hedgerows. This simple invention restored mobility. Operation Cobra, powered by these tanks, finally broke the German lines. The Allies surged forward, ending the stalemate. The Bocage campaign was a test of endurance and ingenuity. Normandy's fields became a proving ground for courage and adaptation. The breakout marked the beginning of the end for German forces in France. Behind the strategies, Normandy was a story of individual heroism and sacrifice. Private Charles de Glopper gave his life to save his platoon, earning the Medal of Honor. Medics and chaplains like Father Francis Sampson risked everything to save the wounded, friend and foe alike. French civilians suffered terribly. Thousands died. Cities like Caen were destroyed. Liberation came at a heavy price for the people of Normandy. The landscape is marked by cemeteries, silent witnesses to the cost of freedom. The American cemetery at Colleville-sur-Mer holds over 9,300 graves. Each marker tells a story of sacrifice. The human cost of Normandy is etched into its soil. To walk these fields is to remember the price of victory. The legacy of those who fought endures in every cross and every rebuilt village. Normandy's story is one of courage, loss, and the enduring hope for peace. The Battle of Normandy ended with the liberation of Paris in August 1944, a pivotal turning point in World War II that changed the course of history. The Allies suffered over 226,000 casualties in the campaign. German losses were even higher, with countless families forever changed by the devastation of war. The campaign shattered the German army in the west, breaking their defensive lines and paving the way for the Allied advance toward ultimate victory in Europe. Normandy's legacy is one of international cooperation, nations united against tyranny, working together despite differences for a common cause. The invasion laid the foundation for post-war alliances and the new world order that followed, shaping the future of Europe and the globe. Today, Normandy's beaches are peaceful and serene, but the scars of battle remain etched in the landscape and in memory. Bunkers, craters, and endless rows of white crosses remind us of the immense cost of freedom and the sacrifices made for peace. To visit Normandy is to walk through living history, to honor those who sacrificed everything, and to reflect on the price of liberty. The story of Normandy is a living lesson. Freedom is fragile, peace is hard-won, and remembrance is our duty. We must remember, learn, and strive for a world where such sacrifices are never needed again, passing these lessons to future generations. Read the letters, visit the memorials, listen to the veterans. Each story is a thread in the fabric of our shared history. By keeping their stories alive and sharing them, we honor their legacy and ensure their courage is never forgotten. Normandy's echoes will resonate for generations to come, reminding us always of the price paid for freedom.